88.5 FM.
We got the flavor.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the SAR is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a noisy country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
President Joseph Neiman Boyka is head of state with all of the challenges and different things appertaining that office. I always say that I was vice president, and I know how many challenging issues came across my desk just as vice president. And Liberia isn't at a point where things are, settled, and you're now moving it from a level of food, clothing, and shelter, maybe to thinking about space travel. We're not there yet. We're still dealing with issues of food, clothing, and shelter for our people. And
before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong, and no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the SAR is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow We'll continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
So it's another day, beginning another week. Yes, we are on it. So let me say thank you so very kindly, wherever you are following, here in Liberia, out of Liberia, welcome to the show. It's good that you have us in your company. Start sharing it right now. Wherever you are watching, start sharing the show. Blessful day. God is faithful. We thank God for keeping watch over us throughout the night, throughout the week. We can be more grateful. Another day. Cecilia Logan, you are on. Yes, good to have you on. Aloysius Gapu, you are on. Yeah, it didn't go the way I had prophesied. I prophesied Real Madrid defeat and Barcelona win. Real Madrid lost and Barcelona settled for a draw. That was very, very foolhardy on the part of Barcelona and our coach. Let me get you. Have you people noticed that? And I think this is very bad on Barcelona's part, particularly our new coach, Hansi Flick. Every time Madrid dropped point, he never went on to win. That's a bad record for Hansi Flick. Check the number of games that Real Madrid dropped points, a defeat or draw. Hansi Flick went to play Barcelona with either lost that game or they drew. He hasn't won, as far as my recollection historically is concerned. Hansi Flick hasn't won a game whenever Real Madrid dropped points. So I was very disappointed over the weekend. Very, very disappointed. Vexed. Hope that is not going to be repeated. Willem K. Sumawulu, you are on from York Staton, the Dog Island community. Great. Juja Wanwe, you are on from Johnsonville. John Flomo from West Soul Clinic community. Matthew Choloplay, you are on. Cecilia Logan. Solo Wat Corsia from your comfort zone, New Georgia Estate. My weekend was good. As evident, we are together. That is God right there. Hope yours was okay. Ansu Coleman from the headquarters of the Economic Fights. That's the Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia. Samson Carey from Batnusville, District 11. The anniversary woman. Anniversary and birthday. My dear Southeastern sister, Dwighty. That's great. Bless God for you, man. It takes 2 in 1 and 1 in 2 to reach 16 years of marriage, and then it was culminated into your birthday, Dwighty. Congratulations. Bless God for you. And the celebration went well. I saw it. My dear Southeastern sister, she knows how to celebrate. Say, LG, life is good. So congratulations. again and bless God for you and your husband reaching 16 years of marriage and your birthday. Joshua Moore, you are on. Murphy Heenan, you are on from District 9. Elijah Nippy from Atlanta, Georgia. Benedict X. Camara from Johnsonville. Henry Tito Jr. from your residence in Caldwell. Clarence Dwyer from your hustle ground, you say. Diana Davis from Manhattan, New York City, the United States. Patila from Warren Street, Morovia. Demo Love, Demo, Johnsonville. Abraham B. Croman from Iron Factory Community. Fatu Sharif, you are on. Jackson C. Ponin Jr., you are on. Member of Block 13 Intellectual Center Iron Factory, alongside the chairman of the Intellectual Block, Romancio Latupan, or Kenny Ball or Rico, as he's widely called, chairman for life, the only chairman that doesn't ride Lexus 2025, 2026, 2028, 2029, but very common, down to earth with everybody. He is a common chairman. That is the kind of chairman that God blesses, just like George Weah. Otto, you are on from Freeport. Thank you all. I can't call all of the names right now. The acknowledgement will continue in between, but thank you all for spicing up. We've got some dollars to give. It's 4,000. Please take your 4,000 Liberian dollars. Take it. T. Dinah Exceeding Grace. You are on. Good. From District 9. Take your 4,000. Dial star 799 star 24 hatch. Play with $1 Liberian dollar or 70 cents US, and then you have your 4,000. Start playing and keep playing and keep playing. At 4 o'clock, at 4, CDC Mayango Jala is in. At 4 o'clock, he is in to talk all things this and other issues of the party.
I'm feeling the vibes with originalhits.com.
In their continuous effort to mobilize and recalibrate for a great comeback, the National Due Payment Committee of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change, CDC, invites all partisans, supporters, and sympathizers to the launch of the CDC National Due Payment on Saturday, April 12th at the CDC National Headquarters in Congo Town.
Johnny beat that problem.
All people call you well. It's time to show your loyalty and support for your dear CDC. By paying your dues, you will empower the CDC financially as she prepares to make a great comeback to national leadership in 2029. The launch will be led by First Partisan Dr. George Weah, Party Chairman Janka Cole, Party Secretary General Jefferson Tambakoji, the Speaker of the 55th National Legislature, Councilor J. Fonati Kofa, Senior Senator of Magibi County, and Chairman of the CDC National Legislative Caucus, Nathaniel Fallo McGill, the one and only Rescue Mother, Nora Finda Bundu, the Executive Committee members, and all party stars of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change, CDC.
Mama,
the CDC due payment launch will climax with live performances by famous entertainers like Hipco King Tycoon J, Christoph the Change, and Afro-pop singer Dench. Also see live comedians Paul Flomo, Arthur, and Ojuku. Also see student leader, the famous Angel Michael, and many, many more. It's the launch of the CDC National Due Payment on Saturday, April 12th, starting at 10 a.m. at the national headquarters of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change in Congo Town. Be there.
yes. Have you seen them build hospitals? Have you seen them build schools? Have you seen them build roads?
You are getting ready, no doubt, to question your unreadiness, but the conviction that you are ready, you've started preparing. It is Saturday this week. Saturday, as you heard the information, it starts at 10. So what we're doing is giving you more than what you can know. More than what you can know is an expression of detailed information, a breakdown, so that you experience no difficulty. That is what we're doing. Secondly, we are in a warfare. This is a political warfare. In a political warfare, people use everything available to them to gain or win supremacy, even if it causes them to go to the extreme or to create uneasy atmosphere. So I am cautioning you, today is Monday. Try, be yourself, going into the day and on the day itself. Guide against temptations, guide against temper tantrum, guide against anger. All of these things, you will see them attempting to insert themselves amongst you people. So you want to be careful, conduct yourself right and on the day so that you will have a peaceful, because in a political warfare, your opponent will not want you to succeed in what you are doing. They will disguise themselves just as Satan disguises himself and insert himself into your midst so that they will cause uneasiness. Then at the close of the day, they say, oh, CDC, do you pay me rally? It went this way, it went that way. I beg you all, guide against or stick this in your mind and conduct yourself right. Beginning today, you have CDC hour on this station. It comes on at 6:50 and ends at 7:50 p.m. from Monday to Friday. So right after the news, King's Newsroom at 6:45, you got between 6-7 minutes break to take a breather, and then you have CDC hour right after King's Newsroom at 6. The news runs from 6 to 6:45, 45 minutes bulletin. After the 6:45 news bulletin, CDC hour is on. It will run from 6:50 to 7:50. 10 minutes break so that you refresh, you get refreshed, or you refresh yourself, take a zip and do other things within 10 minutes. And then at 8 o'clock, Teacher Light is in. Anthony at Law, A.B. Weah for another presentation. So you see, from Monday to Friday, you'll be informed. You will get loaded. Nobody will mislead you. That is the essence of radio. Radio keeps you informed. It is instant. It is everything to get whatever you need. So that's how it looks like. Right after the show, Real Talk, which ends at 5:30, the news is on at 6. It will run up to 6:45, and then 6:50 CDC hour is on. It is on the air from Monday to Friday. From Monday to Friday. So what we are doing with the appearance of these stalwarts of the Congress of Democratic Change is to give you a full understanding. They won't be available on all of the shows every day, except that we will need them when the need arises, but they have their own show now. So Mayango, this morning, you had Kenneth on with Israel on Let's Talk About It. That presentation was great. It was very insightful. He broke down everything. Mayango will be here in a couple of minutes. He too will explain, especially those of you out of Liberia, because listening to Israel this morning, somebody was asked a question about digital payment. Yes, so all of those things, you can post your question. Yeah. When Mayango comes in or while he's talking, anything you understand that will be relayed to him. What other way? We're trying to find a way by which you can, because some people, they will not have the time to call. They will be calling like you always complain, oh, the line is jammed. Yes, that's true. Sometimes the line is jammed. Let me not say all of the time. So we're trying. I will try if we can create a neutral line by which you can send your text message, because you know why? It's all about you. It's not much of talking today. When Mayago comes, he's going to do the talking and you're going to call. So we'll try, besides all of the lines, we'll create some kind of space by which you can just text. Those of you out of Liberia on the screen, you can leave your question there. Mayango will answer you. So that's how it is. Let's get started on in the next few minutes. Just two issues we've got today, and the third is Mayango Jalab's appearance. So the United States government has issued another warning, another strict and stern warning to Liberia. These hints, as far as I know, literally got possible sanction behind them. When warnings are given, or warnings coming one after another, it tells you there is possible action. There is imminent action. The people of this country and this unity party government must take cue. The warning is for individuals and government of Liberia. The United States ambassador to Liberia, Mark Turner, made it clear. I will try to quote him verbatim. That means word for word, because his statement is a bit long. He said, if you attempt to enter the U.S. illegally, falsify information to obtain a visa, work without proper authorization, or overstay your visa, you will face serious consequences, ranging from imprisonment and deportation to a permanent visa ban. Illegal border crossings dropped by 94% in February 2025 compared to the same period last year. Meanwhile, arrest of undocumented immigrants inside the U.S. surged by an alarming 627%. The U.S. has also begun cracking down on enablers of illegal immigration, including smugglers, traffickers, and even government officials in other countries. Immigration customs and port officials are now under greater scrutiny. Those who aid or abet illegal immigration will be held accountable. And then he will appeal to Liberians to comply with U.S. immigration laws and avoid making what he referred to as perilous travel decisions. Here is it, word for word. Illegal entry doesn't just violate American laws, it jeopardizes your safety, your family, and your future. If you know someone in the U.S. illegally, the best thing you can do is to encourage them to return voluntarily, make the right decision, obey the law. Don't put your future at risk. These are but few of his pointers from the speech he gave, or the public address, a warning to Liberians and the officials of this government and the government itself. They say a hint to a wise is quite sufficient. Let's move to the next talking point. Ingratitude, God hates. Ingratitude, God hates. God also hates being vindictive. God hates that. In life, it's all but fair when you are in a poverty-stricken condition and somebody took you from there. You ought to be grateful to that person. you ought to go back to the person and say, thank you. Jesus healed 10 lepers. And that is the main reason we have Luke chapter 17 in the Bible. 10 lepers Jesus healed. On their way back, one soon realized that his disease was between death and life. And had it not been for Jesus, he would have succumbed to death. He immediately turned around, went back, and fell at the feet of God in Jesus Christ and say, thank you for what you did for me. Had it not been for you, I would have been a dead person. I am grateful that you have kept me alive. Jesus, looking at him, said, weren't you 10? Where are the other 9 to come and do the same? Fast forward, that one man who realized that he was just few seconds away from the grave got the protection and blessing and prosperity of God. We have these events in the Bible to teach us how to go about with our lives with people, especially when people do good for us. I am laying the basis to bring out the ingrate of our president. We didn't know this. It came out on yesterday, but we've heard skirmishes of information that the current president was not too well. He was on and off. The former president, George Weah, went to him. Former Vice President Joe Howard Taylor and other people will go occasionally to see him. But the most serious part of it, the Vice President of Liberia, a former Vice President, Joy Howard Taylor, revealed when she appeared on Spoon Talk. Let us not take credit for that. It is wrong in broadcast. She didn't appear. She didn't appear on Kings. She appeared on Spoon. And given that it is not a routine for such high-profile person to be on radio every now and then, when that person is on a given radio, everybody tune in and take what they can take as they listen. So if you follow the radios in Liberia, she's all over and she's in the newspapers, because very seldom, I don't think that she's going to appear on a radio maybe for the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, except that she's at the party headquarters or some kind of public events. These high-profile people, they highly appear. So when they appear on a given station or they speak into a newspaper, everybody listen and get something from there. She gave this revelation, which in my opinion was ingratitude to the core, that the former president continued to show, or had it not been for the former president, George Weah, in his goodness and loving kindness and mercy and forgiveness, then I don't know how it would have been from the past till now. She was evident, she was clear that she had gone to see, after the former president George Weah would go to the former vice president who is now president. A couple of weeks later, she opted to move in and speak to him and see his condition and give him that aliveness, because it was glaring that he was not too okay. And according to her, when she went there, after a couple of hours, she left, and then she heard of the former vice president nearly fell off. And the humanity of former President George Weah, the common citizen, that's what common citizens do. That is exactly what common citizens do. We saw, and you can go and read it. Look at the common citizen in Luke chapter 10. The first aristocrat and bourgeois passed. The second elite passed. The common citizen in the Samaritan saw that man lying on the ground and say, if I don't do something, what will become of my humanity? Let me demonstrate my humanitarian instinct. Despite this man having blood all over him and he's nearing death, I would not regard my clean clothes, my donkey, but rather put this man on and take him to the inn, which today we call hospital. And when he arrived with the man at the hospital, he told the doctors, this is what I have, but I beg you all, treat him and don't bill him on anything. Everything put it on me. I am responsible. Look at that situation that even in Luke, it is the same with former President George Weah in his humanitarian self and the former vice president and president of Liberia, who today sees former President George Weah as his enemy. Had God first, we are second. God first, we are second. You go up, you can, and the common citizen save a dying soul. Listen to Joy Howard Taylor.
But I know there's one example that I have that showed that we cared. We won these elections, and then in 2018, I had gone to see the woman to talk. I was there from like 8 o'clock to about 10:30, 11. We had a long conversation, laughing and everything. By the time I got home, I was called by one of the sons, and they said to me, oh, the woman had a heart problem in the hospital. So I'm like, I was the last person there. First thing in my mind that maybe people would think, I did something to him or something. How come you were the last person to visit the former president? By the time you leave, he ends up in the hospital. President Weah did all he could. We made rapid arrangements, and he went to Rhode Island, to the Rhode Island hospital to seek medical attention. All of that was paid for by government. And I think that was one of the key examples that I can link on because I was involved in that process. Once I was called, I informed the president what was happening. And in a few days, he was sent off into Rhode Island. He did his surgery for his heart. I think that was showing care. In terms of what he received financially, I don't have the details. I think between the hospitals and the tickets and everything, it might have been about $100,000 because he had this heart surgery at the time he was taken care of, and government paid all of those bills. And so I think that was a instant where we kind of showed care. When we were leaving office, he was given 2 vehicles, two new SUVs, to make sure he wasn't walking on the street like they left me on the sidewalk. But in terms of dollars and cents as to what he received, hopefully we can get that information, and I will make sure I talk to Samuel to find out what the package was given to former Vice President Boycott during that period. But I think he and President Weah had a good relationship. I don't think they were at loggerheads. He visited him several times, got him security and all of what he needed to pay for his staff costs and all. So I think those things were done. I just don't know what the financial amount is, and I don't want to say something that may not be true. At one point they started beefing, between the two of them, and I heard the former vice president say, we're paying back all the money what he spent. Now, I wasn't sure what all that money was about, but at one point he got upset and said he would pay government back. I still didn't know what the details were. So I really can't speak to that. But I think there was something.
That's the revelation. The former vice president of Liberia, Joy Howard Taylor, Chief Joy Howard Taylor. Keep playing the King's Cash giveaway. Dial *799 *24#. Play with $1, Liberian dollar, or $1.50, and then you can have your 4K for today. We're giving out 4K at least to get ready for the 10K and the 15 and the 20 and the 25 and the 30. So keep playing. Today, you collect that 4K, you drink a salt drink, you can do other things with a 4K, you can save 1K, I don't know, 1,000. And then the 3-9, you can raise your morale. Okay, so you see that. Now, if you listen to her carefully, you can sense why Boakai has developed hate for George Weah. That today he does not want to see Weah. Well, you saw it at the funeral of Prince Johnson, but we'll get to that. I will play that portion you hear it over and over. So yes, guess what? You see Weah in his humanity. You see common citizen. 100,000 was used. Here is it. It wasn't a commercial flight. The condition was serious. This is what they refer to, the medical people refer to as urgency of the moment. That means you are racing against time. And anytime, the least time waste, the situation will be different. So they were racing against time. So it means he was taken out of this country on a charter flight because it was an emergency. Ingratitude is a curse. He was taken on an emergency flight from here, charter flight. Because if you're using commercial, you wouldn't reach. You know why people are along the way, they everything tend to DOA, dead on arrival, because of the stoppages along the way. Commercial flight, stopping from one end to another because you're not the only person on it. Charter flight means there is no stoppage. Even if there will be a stoppage, it will be just moment and then off. He was given VIP treatment according to Vice President Joe Howard Taylor. VIP treatment. That means everything, with the exception of the 100,000, they stay at the hospital, the bills, those who went with him, everything sustaining him all the way up to the time he was brought back and coming back to Liberia. Funds were also available. So it means that we are used more than 150,000 common citizen. Who would do that today? What president in this country? Let's put it in the reversal, God forbid, but just for discussion's sake, let's put it in the reversal. We are in such condition. Boakai is president. Boakai would never, ever look in that direction to even do that. You can see it today from the vindictive instinct of the current president. More than 150,000, given what this woman explained, listen to her. It's not just the 100K, but you ought to be grateful to we as humanity. God first, common citizen second. And this is what common citizens do. Common citizen saves lives. Common citizens feed. Common citizen does everything for the elite, the bourgeois, the aristocrats. Common citizen is at the service of another person. Jesus was a common citizen. Jesus never went the aristocratic route. Jesus will wash people's feet. Jesus will sit with the commoners and eat with them, with the aristocrats and all of those people. Jesus was just a common citizen, down to earth. And that is what you see in former President George Weah. Had it not been for this man in his humanity. Listen to the woman again.
But I know there's one example that I have that showed that we cared. We won these elections, and then in 2018, I had gone to see the woman to talk. I was there from like 8 o'clock to about 10:30, 11. We had a long conversation, laughing and everything. By the time I got home, I was called by one of the sons, and they said to me, oh, the woman had a heart problem in the hospital. So I'm like, I was the last person there. First thing in my mind that maybe people would think, I did something to him or something. How come you're the last person to visit the former president? By the time you leave, he ends up in the hospital. President Weah did all he could. We made rapid arrangements, and he went to Rhode Island, to the Rhode Island hospital, to seek medical attention. All of that was paid for by government. And I think that was one of the key examples that I can link on, because I was involved in that process. Once I was called, I informed the president what was happening. And in a few days, he was sent off into Rhode Island. He did his surgery for his heart. I think that was showing care. In terms of what he received financially, I don't have the details. I think between the hospitals and the tickets and everything, it might have been about $100,000, because he had this heart surgery at the time he was taken care of, and government paid all of those bills. And so I think that was a instant where we kind of showed care. When we were leaving office, he was given 2 vehicles, two new SUVs, to make sure he wasn't walking on the street like they left me on the sidewalk. But in terms of dollars and cents as to what he received, hopefully we can get that information, and I will make sure I talk to Samuel to find out what the package was given to former Vice President Boycott during that period. But I think he and President Weah had a good relationship. I don't think they were at loggerheads. He visited him several times, got him security and all of what he needed to pay for his staffers and all. So I think those things were done. I just don't know what the financial amount is, and I don't want to say something that may not be true. At one point they started beefing, between the two of them, and I heard the former vice president say, we're paying back all the money what he spent. Now, I wasn't sure what all that money was about, but at one point he got upset and said he would pay government back. I still didn't know what the details were. So I really can't speak to that. But I think there was something. But I know there's one example that I have that showed that we cared. We won these elections, and then in 2018, I had gone to see the woman to talk. I was there from like 8 o'clock to about 10:30, 11. We had a long conversation, laughing and everything. By the time I got home, I was called by one of the sons, and they said to me, the woman had a heart problem in the hospital. So I'm like, I was the last person there. First thing in my mind that maybe people would think, I did something to him or something. How come you're the last person to visit the former president? By the time you leave, he ends up in the hospital. President Weah did all he could. We made rapid arrangements, and he went to Rhode Island, to the Rhode Island hospital, to seek medical attention. All of that was paid for by government. And I think that was one of the key examples that I can link on, because I was involved in that process. Once I was called, I informed the president what was happening. And in a few days, he was sent off into Rhode Island. He did his surgery for his heart. I think that was showing care.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. So he was flown out for his heart surgery. Okay, I can see why this guy, I didn't know, but we heard Costa would say, I did this, I took him to the hospital. And it's now when I listened to the woman, that's when I thought on Costa. I thought it was just a political game that Costa was playing to score political capital, or that he was mad because Boakai didn't choose him as the vice tenor bearer or vice running mate. So I'm convinced now what the man said, that, the man, he got this, he has that, he had this. I took him to the hospital. And thankfully, I've collected all of those clips about that man saying those things about the vice president and president. I just thought to share it with you so that you know you have to be very careful in life how you react to people, how you say certain things, especially when they have done good for you. And this is where God gets vexed. When someone has done something for you, then you show evil to the person instead of being grateful. So had it not been for Weah, God first, Weah second, the man whom they say that common citizen, in their turn, they felt that they were demeaning him, but not realizing that it is a promotion. The common citizen is always humanitarian. The common citizen always feel compassion, just like Jesus was. The common citizen always put himself in the shoe of that person and compels himself to do something. The common citizen is selfless. He puts aside his interest, what profits him, to save a dying soul or to feed a hungry person. Those are but few of the many characteristics of common citizen. And you see all of those characteristics in Weah. This nation or Unity Party people, that's one of the things that get the curse on you, because you people would not attempt to be grateful. We're not saying Weah is a sin, but Weah is a humanitarian. And that's what God called everybody on earth to do. Let's turn to you. I said only 2 items we are looking at today. And these are the 2. And the third is the appearance of Mayongo Jala. He will be in as very shortly. But let's take a few calls. Before then, keep playing the King's Cash giveaway. Dial star 79 and star 24 hatch. Play with $1 or 70 cents US. And you have your 4K, your 4,000 to start the Monday. On a Monday, give me 4,000, I'll be more than excited. Where I sitting now, you tell me, say, Andrew, I get 4K for you. I will bless you. So you don't want to miss out on your 4K, yeah? So take it. Dial star 79 and star 24 hatch. Play with $1 Liberian dollar or 70 cents US. That's all. Benson W. Victor said, what common citizen does to people, but that's what common citizen does to people, but Bwaka is very ungrateful to President Weah. Philip Nangbe said, Bwaka is just an ungrateful old man. God doesn't like that at all. Matthew Choloplay, Bwaka is #1 ungrateful man who President Weah gave life and gave him another chance to live again. Let's go to the line. Dial star, look at me, I'm so used to the kids catching away. Dial 0772 23 99 33. It's 0886 30 44 97. The women's line 0777 9803 75. Let's go now. Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews. Thank you very much, Mr. Andrews. I'm Professor Mohammed, Dan Coastal Hill, Wellington Community. Andrews, I firstly want to tell you thank you for your piece of advice as regards the due payment. Because what you're saying is an excellent advice. And I believe every sedition, every sediswa, every unit we are every one of us who will be marching onto the party headquarters that day to make our contribution to our party, we must firstly be able to commit ourselves to our party and do everything to avoid the guys, the gangsters are parading around here calling themselves government. You can know everything regarding Weah, it heads them to the core. So every citizens who will be marching on that day to the party headquarters, please, let's be responsible and behave responsible to protect the image of the party. And the next issue that has to do with Bwakai, St. Andrews, President Bwakai is the #1 ungrateful leper as quoted by the late Prince Johnson. Bwakai, anyone who has Bwakai along the way, Bwakai will never pay back. He's very ungrateful.
Okay, Chief.
And that's why today things are continuing to be.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for making my voice heard on national issue. Thank you, Mr. Andrews.
Thank you. Have a nice Monday. Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good on the Monday. And you?
Fine. You are talking with Charles Paul, Foundation of Forcing, the Daily Operation to the Council.
Let's go, Charles.
Yeah, so now we are Station number 14, amalgamating forces going around our community, telling our people about the due payment of our party. So Saturday, we will be at the national headquarters to go and pay our party due because we want to pay the party due to support our party because we're in opposition now. It is time to support our party to recome at 2029.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Have a nice day. Hello. Good afternoon.
Your man back. Look at the late Judy Bryan and that of Moses Abraham. Who are in power? And I you need party. But Vagana need good for the country. So when hit Weah, you always feel the pain. My info there.
Great. Hello. Cut off your radio, sir. Cut off your radio, I beg you.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, thank you for the show. Yeah, the issue the Papa Baka, you know, we're not believing Papa Baka, like you have mistakes. But if you know like somebody after you as a political leader for the Unity Party, you don't get a mental hospital. I'm so Dalaba now.
No.
Your presidency.
Hello.
Hello.
You are, yeah, I'm fine.
My name is Aaron Bisa. I'm joining you from Chiboro.
Let's hear you, Aaron.
Thank you for the topic discussion. You see what happening? President Weah will always be blessed. Truly.
You went off, Chief. You went off. I didn't cut you off. You went off. Yes, you went off. Hello?
Hello, Sam Andrew, how you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm calling from Hamburg District too.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, Sam Andrew, you know, under this song here, you are stretching hand to people. People you stretching hands, somebody will not be ungrateful. But the other people, you're not the one that people be paid back to you. Everything that Baka and people doing, tomorrow they are it will happen today. You see the kind of thing they come up with 5% talking, I have to treat somebody. Even when you hate George, yeah. So what the Constitution says, you keep over here. After one of them see the Jeremiah cool, after one of them see what's happening. Tomorrow when the other people see that, who will talk? And so I want you pay me, wait, you get land. For me, I got my other people in here. I will take their money and go there to do their due book and bring it to them. Because we need to pay due. Any organization, we not pay due, organization. You have to pay due for people to know you. You see how we suffer? 2023, we suffer here because we not pay due. Let's pay all kinds of people out. They put in our ticket. And I want to betray our party. So when you pay your due, you know. When you come in our party, you say you can pay for the 4 or 5 years. When I agree, you must start for that. And the year will know. We'll pay month of month to see this year. Thank you.
Thank you too. Have a nice Monday. Hello. Hello. You are on the air. I turn to the women's line, you're going off. If I turn to the men line, then we'll be on the the guest is in. So is next week. Oh, next week? No. Last week we were saying next week, which is this week. So it is this week. This week, not next week. Hello. Hello? Yeah, sorry, you're off. Hello. Hello?
Hello.
You are on the air. Let's hear you.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
My name is Eva and Kelly for Amagashi District 2. Thank you very much, Mr. St. Andrew. See, Omebaka, anything you do for Omebaka, you should do it for the sake of God. But that Ome will never appreciate what you will do for him. You see, no, his friend will praise you to say, oh, that's what I did for Ome Bakai. He really, he was grateful to me. Ome Bakai is very ungrateful.
Okay, I think you can listen to Costa. Even a cool friend, our Papa Omer Yue, he never appreciated Omer Yue that supported him. He
All right,
never
Chief.
appreciated what all Omer Yue did for him. Then that President Weah, look at his attitude now today towards the man who saved him through the power of the Almighty Allah. So that's where the call Wakai, the high he low. Nobody will praise you and nobody will tell you who about him, the high he low.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too for spicing it up. Have a nice Monday. Hello.
Hello.
Let's hear you. Your name and where you call from.
Andrew, how are you?
I'm fine.
This is Eddie Kali. I'm calling you for Cal Patrick.
Let's hear you.
Did you get my DNA?
Let's hear you, my man.
Yeah, they come and show them and go with the other party of politics. The reason they are part of the big super happy. So we'll be there to contribute to see how better pay our dues.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, they told they put on the country today. Where they know they never to be the event that will rescue the country. So what I mean that they contact Fire King. Yeah? You know how many boys have been lose the way? After they come out the way side.
Okay. All right, Chief. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Okay. This reminder, then we get started. Hold on to all of your questions. My guest is in this reminder.
I'm feeling the vibes with originalhits.com.
In their continuous effort to mobilize and recalibrate for a great comeback, the National Due Payment Committee of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change, CDC, invites all partisans, supporters, and sympathizers to the launch of the CDC National Due Payment on Saturday, April 12th at the CDC National Headquarters in Congo Town.
Johnny beat a problem.
It's time to show your loyalty and support for your dear CDC. By paying your dues, you will empower the CDC financially as she prepares to make a great comeback to national leadership in 2029. The launch will be led by First Partisan Dr. George Weah, Party Chairman Janka Cole, Party Secretary General Jefferson Tambakoji, the Speaker of the 55th National Legislature, Councilor J. Fonati Kofa, Senior Senator of Magibi County, and Chairman of the CDC National Legislative Caucus, Nathaniel Fallo McGill, the one and only Rescue Mother, Nora Finda Bundu, the Executive Committee members, and all party stars of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change, CDC. The CDC due payment launch will climax with live performances by famous entertainers like Hipko King Takun J, Christoph the Change, and Afro-pop singer Dench. Also see live comedians Paul Flomo, Arthur, and Ojuku. Also see student leader, the famous Angel Michael, and many, many more. It's the launch of the CDC National Due Payment on Saturday, April 12th, starting at 10 a.m. at the national headquarters of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change in Congo Town. Be there.
I've got just 5 years. Every sin I build the hospitals. Every sin I build the schools. Every sin I build the roads.
You're listening to Real Talk on Kings 88.5 with me, Sam Andrews, on this 7th day of April 2025. So, all is set for Saturday, which is this week at the headquarters of the Congress for Democratic Change. But you need more information. More information you need, no doubt to that. Without, you can. So, Mayongo Jala of the Congress for Democratic Change is in and to share light on the due payment and other issues. The party going into 2029. Let me say thank you so much for coming, Mayango. I appreciate it. Good to see you, and welcome to Real Talk.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity given me to be able to
I'm feeling the vibes with originalhits.com.
In their continuous effort to mobilize and recalibrate for a great comeback, the National Due Payment Committee of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change (CDC) invites all partisans, supporters, and sympathizers to the launch of the CDC National Due Payment on Saturday, April 12th at the CDC National Headquarters in Congo Town.
Johnny be the problem.
All people call you well.
It's time to show your loyalty and support for your dear CDC. By paying your dues, you will empower the CDC financially as she prepares to make a great comeback to national leadership in 2029. The launch will be led by First Partisan Dr. George Weah, Party Chairman Jankako.
Okay, let's go now. Yes, Mayago, good to have you on the show Real Talk. Welcome to it.
thank you ever so much for the opportunity given me to be able to expand on the issues concerning our much anticipated national due launch, like scheduled for the 12th of April, this Saturday at the CDC National Headquarters.
Will you have opted or gone for a due payment like you are now? Had you not come out of power? Did you think of anything like that while you were in?
Yes, for CDC, by mandate of the party constitution, it is obligated to every partisan of the party to be able to pay that due. That have been done in so many ways, like people printing their own t-shirts. But the due payment at the times before we could take power back in 2017 was focused only on party leadership. Before we came to power 2018, and when we were in power in the last 6 years, there was mechanism also put in place for due payment, but we were focusing mostly on party leaders. But this time around, we have decided to make the ordinary person to take ownership of the national due payment draft.
So you had due payment in place. This is nothing new, but it was segmented. It was at the elite level.
True.
But why that decision to keep it at that level and not to bring it down to the grassroots?
Like I said, the grassroots was paying a due in so many forms. Some of them were like through that support, they were printing their own t-shirts and all of you. So for now, we have decided, because based upon the appeal from the grassroots, thought that we are in a party, not just by our support that we give to the party, that is not on record. We want to be recorded as we pay our dues to our party. It was predicated upon that the common and the grassroots was also included into the process.
So give the outline, give your audience a picture practically how the due payment process goes or going to be.
Yeah. First of all, the national due payment, as like I said, is something that is enshrined in our party constitution. So, but the mandate of the party constitution, the National Executive Committee met and they decided to relaunch the due. So they launched, which is scheduled for Saturday, we have categories of payments. We categorize our people and to ensure that everybody have a specific block they fit in, ranging from the party National Executive Committee, CDC Legislative Caucus, the former official of government, former head of agencies. Everybody have a category of payment. But the most targeted one is that people been hearing about the $1 due launch is the ordinary, the grassroots member. which is $1 for grassroots member. But when we come to the party National Executive Committee, headed by the national chairman, they have to pay $100 United States per month or equivalent in Liberian dollars. Then we got the CDC Legislative Caucus. From the Senate angle, they have to pay $5 United States per month or 8 equivalents. We got the CDC Legislative Caucus from the House of Representatives. They have to pay $300 United States or 8 equivalents. We got former minister and former head of agency. They have to pay $100 United States or 8 equivalents. We got former deputy minister. They have to pay $50 United States or 8 equivalents. We got former assistant minister and directors. They have to pay $30 United States or 8 equivalents. We got the CDC National Women League and Youth League. They have to pay $10 United States or 8 equivalents. Then we have some people who we refer to in our party as senior party star. They have to pay $20 United States or 8 equivalents. We got the county executive committee member leadership of the various county across the country. They have to pay $20 United States or 8 equivalents. We got the district executive committee, the 17th district have leadership for the party. They have to pay, if you are in the party district district executive committee, you have to pay $5 United States or 8 equivalents. The National Executive Network leadership have to pay $10 or 8 equivalents every month. All the money I'm naming is paid on a monthly basis. Then you got the zonal head executive in every district, because our party is arranged from zonal to district, from district to county, from county to national. So the zonal pay $30 or 8 equivalent. Then we got general grassroots member pay $1 US or 8 equivalents. Then we got the CDC diaspora. The diaspora pay $50 or 8 equivalent. We got the CDC executive leadership. For example, every executive in the party that is formed, that is registered with the party, their leader have to pay $30 and the member pay $1. So these are the various categories we have. So the payment is a 5 year.
5 years?
5 year payment plan that we have.
Yeah,
so
before you get to that, explain the payment process.
The process, if you pay your due, we have so many mediums for which you can pay. We have two. Make sure one of the copy with you in the meantime. We have two bank accounts, both USD and Liberian dollar. We got a GT Bank. If you left for me to read out the numbers.
Yeah, why not? That is the reasons.
The GT Bank account USD is 20 33 31 29 32 10. That's the GT Bank account number. And the same number I just read go for the GT Bank LD. Then you come to UBA, it's a second bank. We have 53 03 03 10 00 26 03.
That's 000.
Yeah. That's the UBA USD account. Then we got the LD for UBA. It's 53 03 03 10 00 26 12.
Those who don't know banking payment process, what other option?
We have another option. We got a mobile money, both Orange Money and the Lone Star mobile money. So the SIM card is registered in the party name and it's emergency. So there are methods of which you can pay to the emergency. So if you want to pay, you dial *144#. 253 hash. I mean star rather. Let me read it over. Star 144 star 253 star 920 6002 hash. If you dial the number, then you follow the instruction, then we'll tell you how much you want to pay. Then you can confirm it by your PIN payment. But if you pay this amount and you want to, because there are questions you can, how do I get my receipt? I pay through the mobile money or the bank account. For example, if you pay at the bank, they will give you slip from the bank. A copy of the slip will be given to you. There's a number we have here that you can contact. Maybe if you are all of the country, you contact 0778 22 7758. If you contact this number, they will confirm your payment and they will write your receipt.
So this is for all the categories you name.
Yeah, all the categories. Then another method.
But you have the Oma there who know none of these things. Some of them don't have a bigger person to aid them in their paying their due. Is there any idea you people developed for them?
Yeah, for those that are not able to pay through mobile money or the bank, we encourage them for now. We have an office of the due payment at the party national headquarters in Congota, where you can go and pay the issue receipt and they read your due book and give you your due book along your receipt. There are plans on the way to reopen and reactivate all of our headquarters across the 17 districts. We're beginning with Mosorado. From there, we can move to other districts.
How the due payment book looks like? Explain the layout.
The layout, the due payment book is a book that carries your name, your position, your districts that you're from. So in our book, if you pay for example, January, if you have to pay $1 every month and you pay for January, we will record it in the due book that you are paying for January, and it will be signed by the financial person that is issuing the book to you. So the book runs for 5 years, from January 2025 to December 2029.
Why you guys put it at 5 years? By then, you people will have be on the urge of 2029.
Yeah, it will be there for now because the book we cannot just. That's the book we give it. It's there for year to year, but the book we face it for 5 years. So after 5 years, when that book is filled, then we'll reissue a new book. But the book is coded with your number. The number that will be on that book is only belong to your number, and that number will also be used when we're issuing ID card. That same number you will have on your
Each book will have a, let's take it as serial number.
Its own serial number. So even we issue you a new book, that serial number you will continue with. That's how it's like.
Okay. And the manual payment at the party's headquarters, you have a specific team responsible for that?
Yeah, we have a specific team at the party headquarters.
That team will be responsible for it, or the team will be alternated? You rotate the team, or they will be there to make sure, because the question is premised on the fact that people are different. When people go to register, the atmosphere, some people will say this, and then people get discouraged and say, oh, the party. So usually people train a specific group of people to handle such a load, because you're dealing with different behavioral trait, different angles. All of these things will unfold.
Yeah, there are people who have been trained to the process in terms of how to, because it's a public office and open from Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily, from Monday to Friday. So you go there every day, you'll be well received, and they will give you all necessary information that you need that are just provided here. Probably some people may have may forget, and will be able to for them to be informed about whatsoever they need.
The payment is determined by you. You can choose to pay a whole year, pay for a whole year
Yeah,
in
as we
advance,
speak,
or 6 months, or whatever you want to do.
For example, if you're in a category of $1 per month, some people can go, as we speak now, the grassroots are moving in every day on a daily basis. As we speak, that's part of the launch is on the 12th, but people have been going to the headquarters on a daily basis. Some of them are paying for a year, some of them are paying for 2. Like a lady went or market woman.
You've started,
Yeah,
but it will be launched formally on Saturday.
There's a lady.
When did the party start with that?
The
When-
payment.
yeah.
The payment because actually
Because some people been wondering, been asking, so hearing the promo play, so all what they know is Saturday everything starts.
Yeah, Saturday will be the official starting. But some people, maybe they will be based on that day and they will have other things and looking at the influx of people that will be going to the headquarters. Some people are deemed necessary. Since March, people have been going to the headquarters doing their payment. And there's a lady who is a businesswoman, a market woman, went at the headquarters, she said, and she paid for the 5 years. And she was paying $30 per month. She left on the spot and paid for 5 years. We issue her a receipt. And on that day, we will also be appreciating her, especially for be a real grassroots member who came and just paid for 5 years, and such a people will be appreciated on the day of the launch.
The diaspora payment.
Yeah, the diaspora payment, that's the reason there's a space here for them. Since they are all over the country, and for them in the diaspora, they are where they are, we have technology. So if you pay, you contact the office, the number I just read, then they will read your receipt. When they confirm your payment, they will read your receipt and send it to you via WhatsApp. Then your book.
If the person isn't on WhatsApp,
like I said, people in the Western world, one way or the other, will have one.
But it's on my uncle is what, so people they're on WhatsApp,
yeah,
they're on Facebook.
So people that maybe you can have contact of somebody that you have in Liberia that you can recommend that we give you a receipt or your due to. Or we can keep it for you. Maybe the day you come down to Liberia, then you can pick it up from the office.
So the grassroots, or specifically the Omar and the Papi, then they're really ready for getting their books. How you're going to treat such load? What you need to say to them? How they need to get ready?
Yeah, one thing we can encourage them is why it's true the payment. The launch is on Saturday. We encourage them to start to do that payment. And as they do that payment, we can assure them that even on the day of the launch, we are anticipating we are doing enough training of more people that will be seated. Because we don't want to have 1 or 2 tables. We want to have more tables, serving more people on that day while the program is ongoing. People will be paying a due and receipt will be issued. And that due bowl will be given to them. So if you leave, your due bowl will be serving as a reminder to you that, yeah, for January, I pay every time you log in the bowl, the time you pay for will be recorded, and the time you have not paid for will be, this empty space will be there.
Damaged due bowl. You have a mechanism for replacement?
Yeah, that's why we issue receipt, and everything is recorded in the database, and that due bowl, the number that we are assigning to you for that due bowl is recorded. So just in case there's a damaged due bowl, we just go for your information in our database and we issue new due bowl in accordance with the record of payment we have on with you and be recorded in your book, in your new book.
Explain the event how it will be on Saturday, because I want to give ample time to the people to ask their questions to have asked it's merely for them. So explain how the event going to be on Saturday. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just take your time.
The event on that day it will be a whole day program, but most often it will begin at 10 a.m. in the morning. And the standard bearer of the Congress for Democratic Change former President George Weah will be there as the official launcher of the program. He will partake in announcing and publicly while launching the national due payment, and that will pave after he and the party executive committee member will lead to the payment table and do their payment. Whatsoever receipt due will be issued to them. Then that will serve as a clear information that the process is officially open, that people can begin to start to pay that due. And at the end of the day, the program will be climaxed in the afternoon by a musical jamboree where we'll have famous musicians, comedians that will be entertaining us until
the break of dawn. It's going to be all night.
Yeah, all night.
Okay, you're listening to Real Talk on Kings 88.5 with me, Sam Andrews, on this 7th day of April 2025. My guest in the build up to CDC due payment and beyond that 2029, Mayango Jala. The time is yours. Ask the questions you can. You got some questions on mind that probably I didn't ask, or how you want to ask your question. The responsibility is yours on 0772 23 99 33 0886 30 44 97. The women's line 0777 9803 75. Those of you who are following the screen, you can drop your number, and if you are not getting through, you can also let me take the risk. It's embarrassing. That's why talk show don't like to give, your hosts don't like to give their number, but we'll have to do it to just accommodate as many of you as I can. You can send your text message, whatever the question you have for Mayango, also on 0776 36 40 45. That is just for text message, because all of the phones are ringing. You may not have the time to come on. Let's go with the women's line first. Hello. Hello. You went off. Hello. Yeah. Yes, Abu Rasta, let's hear you. If there are extra payment for the book before paying your due? Okay. All right, Sabu Rasta. Okay, hold on. Hold on, Sabu Rasta. Let's hold on. Yeah, just hold on. Thank you. Just hold on. Let's make some kind of adjustment here quick.
I'm feeling the vibes with originalhits.com.
In their continuous effort to mobilize and recalibrate for a great comeback, the National Due Payment Committee of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change, CDC, invites all partisans, supporters, and sympathizers to the launch of the CDC National Due Payment on Saturday, April 12 at the CDC National Headquarters in Congo Town. It's time to show your loyalty and support for your dear CDC. By paying your dues, you will empower the CDC financially as she prepares to make a great comeback.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Lydia female calling from Brazil.
Let's hear you, Lydia.
I want to ask question. I'm going to the haircut.
Lydia, you went off. You went off. Hello.
Hello, Sam. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Chairman, what are you doing, my brother?
Yeah, let's hear you. What is your question? Madam, your line are conducive. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
I want to ask, I think we're going to the headquarters and I'm going to go pay the due now, or I get a phone going to go get.
Okay. So keep listening. My uncle will answer you, yeah?
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I tell you, Charles Poor from December 14 is the Operation President Council.
Let's hear you, Charles.
Yeah, we have some our other women and men here. They don't want to go to the party, the national headquarters. So I think in my own mind, when they want to pay that due to the district headquarters to get a book here.
Okay, hold on. He will answer. My uncle will answer all your questions. Hello.
Hello, my uncle. Sir,
Let's hear you.
my question to my uncle: if we pay the book, or they paying the due to get all the books?
Eh?
I said, if we will pay for the book or we will pay the due, then they will send the book over to us, or paying for the book.
Oh, but when they say Jubian, you gotta get book now. That your document there, that your ID card, that your visa there. So how you pay money, you don't get book. That a book will make you to know that you are a due payer.
Okay,
Okay.
My second question: they will pay. We will continue going to the same place to be paying every month to the party color.
When you pay, well, you'll be going to the same place you pay for you pay your due, you got your due book. Eh?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
just hold on. All right. Keep listening. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon, President Andrew.
Good afternoon.
My name is Alvin Dana, and I call from the UN draft. Well, President Andrew, let me appreciate your studio guests, and therefore let me appreciate Almighty God for pumping breath into us, our voice to be heard. President Andrew, I want to ask a question as to whether there will be buses for our people to be trumped at the party because some are over and not over the world, but they want to pay that due. And also, I think they have to extend a topic to Voice of Liberia and that of Freedom FM too.
Thank you. All right. Hello.
Hello?
Your name and where you call from?
Andrew?
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
This is Ismail P.T. Green, the person of Nima County.
Let's say you.
And I'm calling from Buso Allen.
Let's hear you. Let's say you, Ismail.
Yeah?
Let's hear you. You're on the air.
Yeah, Andrew, thank you. And for me, I just want to buttress your effort. I mean, we need more publicity. We need more radio station that will carry the publicity so that more Liberians can be aware. Because some people are not listening to actually King FM alone. So therefore, all the radio stations, the Banner FM here in Buso Allen here, we can also make that pronouncement for us. So it'll be good for us. Thank you very much. We will be there in full.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sam Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Peter David Castle. I call from under the street lights in Lower Johnsonville. Let me say thanks to my uncle for the good explanation and that you have break it down. And on Saturday, April 12th, we will all converge at the CDC headquarters to collect our vote. And I thank you. That's a complete and an innovative and a procedure that are being instituted. And we'll work with you people and our party leaders and the auxiliary head and we show that to work out from now to 2029, we need a serious funding. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello.
Your name and where you call from?
Peter D. Kemo, I'm calling from Firestone Division 34.
Let's hear you from Firestone.
I want to know what are we the might we will be going Eastern or will be to our own Kazata?
Okay. Good question. Hello. Hello.
Good evening, Sam.
Yes.
Eugene Jobo.
Let's hear you, Mr. Jobo.
And I'll call you from Capital Power District 8. So let me say good evening to my brother and friend, Mr. Jala.
Good evening.
I highly appreciate your presentation, brother. And I just want to, join you to encourage the ordinary people. This party is not just for Jangako, Chairman Jangako, President Weah, or for the hierarchy. It's for the ordinary people. And it's a good thing for the leadership because we have to come from the ANC in South Africa. We have to own this party. And by doing so, it's not just about, I joined this in 2004. There must be a document, a contribution from you. You as ordinary people, you have to make your input people, you have to own this party. And this is why nobody from up there can tell you, you know why, we'll make decisions without even consulting you. But when you make a contribution, before any decision are made, you know,
okay, Mr. Jobo.
So it is good thing will be there to support the National Executive Committee, and the other people will be there. Thanks for the opportunity always.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, people. I'd like to say hi to Commichara, Jesus Emmanuel, Richardson, and I joined the conversation from Central Morovia. And to our woman there, you see where you can pay tar in the church. You are not buying the book. When you pay your due, the book will be given to you free. The thing when you can pay tar, the thing coming up. So we want to encourage our people on Saturday, please, let's get out the party to see how we can support our party, because this party is about all. You know, CDC is just the way of life.
Okay,
so
sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Andrew Sam.
Let's hear you. What is your name and where you called from?
I'm Sonny Weah, calling from Lockington, but I'm from Bougainville, Place, San County. My question is, can I get my book here or to my county and my district?
Okay, keep listening. Mayango will answer you. Hello.
Hello.
Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, good evening, Sam Andrew. Hello?
You are on the air. Speak.
Okay, thank you. My name is Mohammed Sese. I'm calling from District 17. I have a concern. My concern here is, during the campaign or before the campaign, there was a salary that was set or that was organized to support President Weah at the time. For me, I'm a member of one of the biggest authority, if I not one, but the biggest authority in District 17. My uncle know about the strategic thinker. I am a member of that authority, executive member for that matter.
What have you called to say? You want to go straight to the point.
My question here is, if you talking about due payment, why is it that everybody should go to the party headquarters is good, but why are you doing with the exonerate? I thought you were going to take these people, they had to call it the boat to the head of the exonerate, to all the bureau exonerate, so that then they know that members, so that they can have a special program or a meeting for them, so that they can get at you, but you then where you, Mayango, your representative will be there. If you will not be having chance to be there, so other people can be there representing the party.
All right, Chief. Mayango will address that.
That's my first concern.
Okay.
And my second concern is, what about the people that live outside Morovia, like my county, Grand Cape, my county, Bapu, and other places?
All right, he will address it. Hello. You want to cut off your radio? Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Your name, where you call from?
My name is Kamal Delaney. I call from the township of Virginia.
Let's hear you.
My concern has to do with where do we go? We don't have the time to go in town at the party headquarters. Where do we go? And also on the ID card business, how do we get ID card to be identified as we are paying our due?
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's get to the other side. Daniel Coleman sent in his question. He said, please ask your guests when they will give membership ID card. Charles M. Dolobapu say, will this due payment continue to other dates besides Saturday? Yeah. And who else? Boston, that's Benson. Benson W. Victor said, he said, thank you for bringing Mayango in. Now I have full understanding of this due payment. All right, Mayango, let's get the first batch. The response to the first batch of questions.
Yeah, I think listening to most of the callers, one of the major concerns was if you pay for the due book. If you have to pay $1 a month, The moment you pay your dollar, we issue you receipt and read that amount in the due book. If like January pay for February or March, it will be written and signed that you are paid for this month. And the book and the receipt will be given to you. So you are not paying for the due book. It is the moment you pay towards end of the month, your book will be issued to you. Every time that book will be helping to serve as a reminder. Every time you log in your book, you know that I'm paying for April, I'm paying for May. That will help you to be able to do your payment. So every time you pay, you have to go back for it to be recorded in your book and signed. That's the reason we're launching it. Right after the launch, there will be plan for it to hit the 17th district. And there will also be plan for it to go in the 15th county, the 73 district. The plan is not only to have it at the national headquarters. That's the reason we're launching it. The launch will set the basis that will be able to have it decentralized in the 15 counties and the 73 district. There's some people saying that if the due payment is only for that day, no. That day is the official launch that will have a set the stage for all our partisans to be informed that yeah, the party have launched it due payment. Let's start paying our due. Some people talk about ID card. Right after the due launch, there are plans on the way to have issuance of ID card because the previous ID card we gave got expired in 2024. So there are plans on the way. The party will announce new date that they will start to issue ID card, and everybody, partisans, it will be decentralized for every partisan to get the party ID card. I think so far so good. These are some of the major concerns that I took.
Somebody asked about transportation for
yeah.
people.
On that day, on that day we that's the reason why we are doing publicity. There are some people maybe some lawmaker from the party within that district will decide to say, oh, I will provide transportation for my people. But we want for people to take ownership. That's the reason why we left it. We want you to come at the headquarters. The party have been having series of programs. For each time we're having program, we can have buses in the various districts. For this, we want for people to move into the headquarters that date to ensure and pay that due. So there is no plan yet for buses. Maybe when there's any, then we can announce it to the public.
So if a person or a lady or a man who is a disabled or visually impaired by their condition can get readily to the headquarters, but they want to pay their due, they have their dollars, and you have not, you only have the plan in place, the blueprint in place to go to all of the districts covering the country, but they are faced with the urgency to have the due pay. So how you intend to help them out?
So one of the easy way, maybe if you have your brother, your friend, anybody within your community or any party leader within the district, you can help and give them your money. They will come and pay on your behalf because when you give your money, you'll give your basic information, your name, your number, your district. If you are a member of the party, it should be member. If you are party, maybe you holding position in the party, give them that basic information. They will come and pay on your behalf. Your receipt will be issued and your debo will be given to you. Therefore, now, that's another way you can help somebody. If I have an old man in my community, I know that she is unable to go to the headquarters now, or she don't have the mentor, I can help to do the payment on her behalf and bring all her necessary information like her debo and her receipt to her.
Tina Kopo is in the United States, and she just sent in this question that those on that side, how can they get their book and ID card?
Yeah, for the CDC USA, CDC diaspora, for example, the CDC USA, they have a leadership there, and every state has its own chapter. So if you pay your due for now, we have a number. This number is on WhatsApp, 0778 22 7758. If you maybe all of the country, you pay your money, you can confirm your payment on this number, and they will read your receipt, send it to you via WhatsApp, or when you get somebody in Liberia that you can recommend that your due book and your receipt be given to them. But they will still send you photo of the receipt and the due book.
Okay. So that's how. So it's not going to be anything complicated. It's as easy.
Easy, no complication.
Okay. Let's go. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
You know, the district, everybody get radio to listen to radio. Some people can listen to radio. Who take care of you more go across the district and then I feel like a phone before yesterday today. I get a spark of.
Well, you saying the more can do outreach in the various communities where you people are?
Yeah, in the community now because yesterday when I also tell my phone go all around the post say, oh, thank you to tell all because we know nothing who can listen to radio. I took the microphone go all the community and so I still have to again.
Okay, yeah, it's a valid point that not everybody listens. Some people just don't listen to radio or they just don't have it. They have sedition and they will need to know. She's right.
For that, we have a publicity team that have been on the field today. It's 12 days that have been on the field, going from district to district, from marketplace to community. That team have been on the field today is 12 days. So it's not only the radio. And apart from Kings FM, there have been publicity done on all our radio stations, the banner FMs, and there are also conversations, maybe beginning tomorrow, this discussion will be here on Freedom FM, all our radio stations.
Hello.
Hello.
Your name and where you come from?
I'm Archie Newton, calling from District 17. Member of strategic team in support President Weah re-election is going time. My uncle, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Okay, so it's a fun idea for the party, also a district and leaders. It's a fun idea, but we hope that the party will do it, that it will not bring any misfeeding. Because we've been supporting the Patriot Party from 2005 up to now. We were in leadership, we were still in opposition. So it's a fun idea. I hope things will be fine. We will pay our taxes, but the party needs a serious reform before 2029. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Have a nice day. Hello.
Sam, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Yes, let me say hi to your studio guest. Yes, Sam, like what I said, so was just saying, if, you know, publicity is very good. So in our, Beatrice, we are calling from the PHP community, that for my community and the entire district, we have not heard anything that publicity. At least they're supposed to use that car to be going around, to be doing that awareness.
Oh, you're not listening to the radio?
We listen. For me, as I listen, I follow you through all. But at least for the others, we do our own publicity, but equally to the entire district, to cover the entire district. So we have not heard anything announcing that only on radio. And some people now, some pocket, we are follow Kings FM that like some of us. So okay. I beg you, your serious guest. That is to their best.
All right. Hello. You went off, Chief. Okay. This one. Hello.
How are you?
Yes, let's hear you.
Thank you for the show. I'm calling for SKD Board of Money $7.
Mm-hmm.
So, hello?
You are on the air, Chief.
Yeah. By the grace of God, Sunday we will be there.
Saturday.
We'll be on the Vanguard.
Saturday.
We'll talk. Saturday, we'll be there on the Vanguard. We'll talk to our people. By the grace of God, we'll be there.
All right. Thank you
for the show.
Hello. Yeah, cut off your radio. Cut off your radio.
This is the Twitter song. The proud reaction. The parents. So, really, I want to come. I wait till Saturday. I can't wait to see Saturday. I'm ready to go.
Chief, your radio, you have the radio loud behind you. Hello.
Yeah, Andrew. Good afternoon.
Yeah, fine. Let's hear you. Your name?
Yeah, I want to say thank you for the show this evening. Mr. Andrew, the guy was talking about that, he says most people on the street. But we live in Johnson Bay, but we don't see no situation passing out with the. So please try to stay in at least.
You said you have not seen you have not seen a CDC outreach team there?
In Johnson Bay, I'm telling you, in Johnson Bay, better than Johnson. The biggest soda on if you can't Johnson Bay, I read that again on green continue there. No, and empire. Okay. Up to now, we don't see no, and for me, not see nobody here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, saying let him move there. Tomorrow we have to.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Let's go. Let's hear you quick.
My concern never be addressed here. As I'm Sonny Weah from Bocom Green. Can I start with my payment here or to my district or to my county?
But ain't you in Morovia? Huh? Ain't you in Morovia?
President, I see Morovia.
You can start your payment, yeah.
Yeah, Mayango said you can do your payment yet.
You can start your payment, yeah. After the loan that are paying for to go in other country, when the day you go by the payment continue from there, you will still pay, but you can start your payment while you're here.
Oh, so once the actual.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Let's hear you quick.
Yeah, thank God. Johnson is here. We got the CDC headquarters here. Some people they can't send out during the registration. We are not seeing anything, and we all the layers. So we mean yes, you can't go around to sensitize the people. But the CDC headquarters here, so some people can come put their table down and be ready doing the registration will be already.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, hello. How much for Weah share?
Remember $1 every month.
Weah share is $1 every month?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Let's hear you.
My name is Aaron B. Sewa. I'm joining you from Togo. Member of the motorcyclist, the CDC motorcyclist. Yeah.
Oh, that you went over. All right, Mayango, you want to respond to the second batch of questions and then you can wrap up?
Yeah, I think most of them been raising almost the same issue that was raised previously by the previous caller. But one of the issues that people keep raising, which we will take from here, we will take it to the committee that right after the launch, there's a need that if the committee approve that, so we can have people, although they are playing for that, right? We will have people stationed at the various district headquarters for now to have a speedy payment because not everyone will have the time to get at the national headquarters and people. That's the reason why we are encouraging people to use the various medium of payment through the mobile money or the bank. The mobile money is the most easier one, but we will communicate that with the community to ensure that we'll have a special team in every district that will help, that people will go there on a daily basis. The same way we'll have the office open. That's a plan we have, and I think after the launch, that will be one of the prime agenda to ensure that we have our people paying a due regularly.
Boniface Cooley is asking for the WhatsApp number, if there is any.
Yeah, the WhatsApp number is 0778 227758.
Read it again so that they get it clear. Take your time.
0778 227758. You can contact that number and you will have some information given to you. So I think that was most of the concern raised by the previous caller. I think that the same concern that was raised by the caller that just left the line. So we encourage our people on Saturday, come out in your numbers, wear any of your CDC regalia. Let us be at the party headquarters beginning at 10 a.m. as we receive our standard brother to do the official launch, so we all can be part of history on that day as we begin the process of paying our dues. By paying your due, you make your party financially stable and strong. Although we are strong in membership, but we have to make our party strong financially as we prepare for 2029.
You can make a comeback 2029, just a little slip away from the due payment. You can make a comeback 2029?
Yes, there's a clear possibility because in the last 6 years, look, judging from the fact of what I was telling about His Excellency George Manneh Weah did in this country, and looking at the current government for their starting, it shows that the promises for which they gave the Liberian people, they are not delivering on it. So there is a clear picture that the Liberians see George Weah as the only alternative.
You're capitalizing on those excesses, failures, and other things.
Yes, one of the issues, George Weah, His Excellency, were building roads, building hospitals.
No, I mean, you're capitalizing on Unity Party failures, their excesses, their errors.
We expected them to come and do more than what we were doing for the Liberian people, but they are doing nothing. So that paved the way for the Liberian people to go back to the CDC.
All right, Mayango. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate that you will explain the layout of the due payment, all of the processes on Saturday, the 12th. Why you people chose 12?
Yeah, we know that
what are the historical days in Liberia?
Yeah, that have been one of the questions that have been posed by many of our partisans, but we said, although that day is a bad day in our history, but the CDC is not using that day for any other bad purpose. We are using that day to reawaken the common people for a cause.
It's just Saturday.
Yeah, just Saturday.
That place is going to be jam packed. I know seditions for that. They're going to overwhelm that place, and you have always had a good security in place, and you maintain that.
Yes, there will be our security on top of that game. There will be security put in place to protect our partisans, most especially those that will be crossing the road. Everything will be put in place that morning to ensure that our program should be peaceful without any other interruption.
Thank you so much for coming in to explain everything, the due process. I appreciate. We look forward to talking to you people on the publicity team of the due payment of the Congress for Democratic Change.
Thank you ever so much for the opportunity.
This break, then we continue with something else. He's Mayango Jala, a member of the publicity team of CDC. Due payment launch on Saturday, the 12th. This Saturday, not next week, this Saturday, this break.
I'm feeling the vibes with originalhits.com.
In their continuous effort to mobilize and recalibrate for a great comeback, the National Due Payment Committee of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change, CDC, invites all partisans, supporters, and sympathizers to the launch of the CDC National Due Payment on Saturday, April 12th at the CDC National Headquarters in Congo Town. It's time to show your loyalty and support for your dear CDC. By paying your dues, you will empower the CDC financially as she prepares to make a great comeback to national leadership in 2029. The launch will be led by First Partisan Dr. George Manneh Weah, Party Chairman Duncan Cole, Party Secretary General Jefferson Tambakoji, the Speaker of the 55th National Legislature, Councilor J. Fonati Kofa, Senior Senator of Magibi County, and Chairman of the CDC National Legislative Caucus, Nathaniel Fallo McGill, the one and only Rescue Mother, Nora Finda Bundu, the Executive Committee members, and all party stars of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change, CDC. The CDC due payment launch will climax with live performances by famous entertainers like Hipko King Takun J, Christoph the Change, Dench and Afro-pop singer Dench. Also see live comedians Paul Flomo, Arthur, and Ojuku. Also see student leader, the famous Angel Michael, and many, many more. It's the launch of the CDC National Due Payment on Saturday, April 12th, starting at 10 a.m. at the national headquarters of the Mighty Congress for Democratic Change in Congo Town. Be there.
I've got just 5 years. Every sin I build the hospitals. Every sin I build the schools. Every sin I build the roads.
So there's one example that I have that showed that we cared. We won these elections, and then in 2018, I had gone to see the woman to talk. I was there from like 8 o'clock to about 10:30, 11. We had a long conversation, laughing and everything. By the time I got home, I was called by one of the sons, and they said to me, "Oh, the woman had a heart problem in the hospital." So I'm like, I was the last person there. First thing in my mind that maybe people would think, I did something to him or something. How come you were the last person to visit the former president? By the time you leave, he ends up in the hospital. President Weah did all he could. We made rapid arrangements, and he went to Rhode Island, to the Rhode Island hospital to seek medical attention. All of that was paid for by government. And I think that was one of the key examples that I can link on because I was involved in that process. Once I was called, I informed the president what was happening. And in a few days, he was sent off into Rhode Island. He did his surgery for his heart. I think that was showing care. In terms of what he received financially, I don't have the details. I think between the hospitals and the tickets and everything, it might have been about $100,000 because he had this heart surgery at the time he was taken care of, and government paid all of those bills. And so I think that was a instant where we kind of showed care. When we were leaving office, he was given 2 vehicles, two new SUVs, to make sure he wasn't walking on the street like they left me on the sidewalk. But in terms of dollars and cents as to what he received, hopefully we can get that information, and I will make sure I talk to Samuel Toy to find out what the package was given to former Vice President Boyka during that period. But I think he and President Weah had a good relationship. I don't think they were at loggerheads. He visited him several times, got him security and all of what he needed to pay for his staff costs and all. So I think those things were done. I just don't know what the financial amount is, and I don't want to say something that may not be true. At one point they started beefing, between the two of them, and I heard the former vice president say, "We're paying back all your money what he spent." Now, I wasn't sure what all that money was about, but at one point he got upset and said he would pay government back. I still didn't know what the details were, so I really can't speak to that. But I think there was something.
Okay, so let's move to something else. Having had the discussion with Mayango Jala of the Congress for Democratic Change, from the onset, I told you people, but some doubted the wahala to have the speaker removed was not solely those guys had legitimate claims against him. And it's not to say that the speaker was a saint in everything at the legislature, but the government under the reign of President Joseph Yeman Boakai had wanted an easy route with the coming in of the yellow machine, but their discussion did not go as planned because they do not have the people to execute such a mercenary plan. So everything was exposed, as you saw how it got into the public. Couple of days ago, the excitement came out again that the president instructed the vice president to renegotiate the purchase of the 285 yellow machines. And we had wondered what there to renegotiate when there wasn't a negotiation, because negotiation takes place between 2 or more persons or institutions or party. there should be a formal negotiation for renegotiation. And the renegotiation is either that framework or agreement has come to an end, and one party finds it right to continue with that venture, so they opt for renegotiation, or that when they realize there is fault along the way with the arrangement, they can make a call to look at everything so that it doesn't create problem in the future. Those are the characteristics of renegotiation. The yellow machine was not informal with any institution. Instead, we heard a lie from the president, blatant lie, that his friend had offered him 285 pieces of machine. You don't want a president to lie like that. I don't think any president, with the exception of Liberia, in the world has ever lied like that. 285 pieces of machine. Our president said his friend gave it to him. When the media pressed and started digging deep, the Minister of Information said there wasn't any negotiation for any yellow machine. If there was any, it would be formal. That's what the Minister of Information said. Fast forward. The president got this thing out, and Unity Party partisans are excited. They ran with it, saying the president has instructed the vice president to renegotiate the purchase of the yellow machines, 285 pieces. And initially it was put at 79 million. And now it will be purchased, the 285 pieces will be purchased at 22 million. So within that interval, somebody was eating 57 million United States dollars from right in the president's corridor. That is not the issue. Renegotiation or trying to sense the renegotiation aspect. Now, it is becoming apparent that they want to get it by hook or crook. Front Page Africa is reporting that the money they need to purchase the 285 machines might come from arrangement or agreement with EcoBank. Front Page Africa is reporting that the government is reportedly negotiating with EcoBank so that the bank can pre-finance the 22 million acquisition, or to get the 22 million for the 285 pieces of yellow machines. So it means that they never had a dime in this whole thing, or they felt that it was necessary to bypass the legislature, or that they could hasten the removal of Fonati Kofa and then install their man, Richard Cohn, who will just allow everything to pass, as he said when he announced himself as regime speaker, that whatever the president wants will make sure that it passed through the legislature, because the president is serious for development. So you see, everything they had in place was just disorganized, and the main purpose of removing or attempting, because they have not, attempting to remove Fonati Kofa, the main reason they started digging on a Fonati Kofa, that this yellow machine, these 285. Now you see, I told you from the initial stage, Fonati Kofa is not to say that some of his colleagues didn't have concerns with him, against him. They had, but it was not the point to having removed, because President Bouakai needed or did not want any difficulty bringing in these machines. The obstacle, in their opinion, was the speaker. They saw Fonati Kofa as the speaker, as the obstacle. So the plan was, let's bring up something against this man. Let's come up with prompt up charges against him. And you guys there, he's your colleagues, colleague. You guys can prevail on him. You guys can bring charges against him. You guys can do this, you can do that. It can start with us as the executive. It all starts with you people, because you people are the ones who are with him. What you can have from us is the backing. That when you saw those guys got so excited, motivated, zealous, enthusiastic to have those claims against Fonati Kofa. Everything those guys were doing was this yellow machine, that once we get the obstacle off our way, Richie Kun is in, it's easy. We can just get it passed. You saw how the guys did the budget, and you saw what they did with the budget. History. Most of the features that are associated with budget hearing and passage and signing into law did not happen. What we have is junta budget. They even used everything before it could make sense to anybody. So now, according to the paper, they are passing through Echo Bank, and this will be an embarrassment for Echo Bank. There are several factors responsible for that. This will be an embarrassment for Echo Bank. Echo Bank is a reputable institution with good financial experts, they know, but it will have a serious side effect on the bank. The government is only trying to prove a point that they cannot prove readily. No $5 they have. So they're saying Echo Bank, according to what Front Page Africa is reporting, Echo Bank, look for the 22 million, buy it for us. When we get it and we start to do what we can do, we'll be paying small. The Minister of Finance, N. Gafwan, said the CDC government depleted the coffers of Liberia Bank for Development and Investment, FBDI, with huge credit. Isn't it the same thing they want to do with Echo Bank? So it means that our Echo Bank now will give the money for them to buy the machines to pay for it. Then they will be paying Echo Bank by installments. So if the government can make it in time to pay and they're out of power, that the next government will take that wahala. They ain't get $5 to give. So they want Echo Bank now to help them out because they are in a difficult position. That's what Front Page Africa is reporting. Yeah. That they want Echo Bank to pre-finance the 22 million acquisition of the 285 pieces of machines. So you see, it's going to be a tricky situation, or they want to put Echo Bank in a tricky situation. So what they're to renegotiate now? You see how the people, when we say the people using Bwaka, you can't believe it. So what is there to renegotiate? That they made it the way they sounded out. The president has instructed the vice president to complete the renegotiation of the 285 machine running off, as if that extra thing, as if that Bwaka first time giving instruction, or what's so much of a difference with that. They portray it like, because that's how it was understood in the public, that the vice president now will face those institutions or the institution stakeholders, sit with them on the table particularly the institutions that are producing it or the middle institution. That's how it was portrayed. That Walker, Jeremiah Kun would not sit with those people and begin to start a new negotiation, because renegotiation is to say the first agreement didn't work, it failed. So we put that off the table. We bring new idea to the table. Yeah, and it is what the paper is reporting. It is alleged, but listen, most of the alleged has truth in it in this country. Who the vice president now has started negotiation with. Already they brought in some of the machines, and some of the machines were brought into the country. They paraded around the city and Somalia Drive. And the president said if the legislature, if they can approve it, if the legislature can give the okay for the 285 machines, then the person who gave it to him or the company will be constrained to take them back. So why are you renegotiating? You negotiate. The president said it was gift. The 285 pieces were gift. The media only raised concern. Did the work for the work of the legislature? Because the legislature was doing nothing. All of them, those mumus, they sat down over there. They are excited, and some of them still expressing excitement today. We want 285. At least the president serious at development. 15 going into my counties. And technically, I think most of the machines will break down. They training 10,000 persons. Because all Boaga 10,000, nothing. He said 10,000 job. It can reach, go 4,000. He said 10,000 in training for IT people, young people 10,000. They ain't even go nowhere. Then those 285 machines, depending on the place, the condition of the place, training 10,000 persons. The sustenance of those 10,000 persons. There are too many things that go with it. At the close of the day, guess what? This government will put huge debt on this country. The next government that will come, if they ain't strong, they will fall down and die. Because everything that just publicity, trying to prove a point, but not looking at the technical details, the excitement is so high. 285 machines, it can do anything extra in this place, in this village. But that is for another day. So that's what the paper is reporting, that they're talking with EcoBank so that EcoBank will pre-finance this whole stuff of 285 machines. And then they can boast and brag. And then Joy Howard Taylor, okay, but I talk about it. 100,000 to take the chief to hospital. 100,000. Now, Joy Howard Taylor, in that interview, she said the government. Weah did not do it as a government. It was not the government's initiative, though Weah was president, but you will argue because he was president then. But listen, Weah could have said that the government doesn't have money. Weah could have said, we're looking for money or we look for money. And he there struggling. Weah did it from his inner soul, his humanity, or his humanitarian self, saying his senior man, former president, or former vice president. He was touched, he was moved, like the Bible says of Jesus. He was moved with compassion. You don't want to be ungrateful. If I were Boakai, Weah and I will be best friends. But it looks like it is this thing that Boakai has kept in heart, that he doesn't want to see Weah, and Weah does not have any problem with him. As a matter of fact, it's up to a person. If you say you don't want to be battle with anybody, it's up to you. 2, if you develop grudge for the person, anger, you know what it does? Anger, hurt, vexation, everything. It hurts the vessel that contains it, then the vessel it is poured on. So he is hurt for whatever the reason. So he doesn't want to speak to Weah. He doesn't want to talk to Weah. He doesn't want to be in the presence of Weah. But he is a deacon. So I want to believe this is the reason. Listen to the latter part or the closing of her statement.
We had a good relationship. I don't think they were during that period. But I think he and President Weah had a good relationship. I don't think they were at loggerheads. He visited him several times, got him security and all of what he needed to pay for his staffers and all. So I think those things were done. I just don't know what the financial amount is, and I don't want to say something that may not be true. At one point they started beefing, between the two of them, and I heard. At one point they started beefing, between the two of them, and I heard the former vice president say, "We're paying back all the money what he spent." Now I wasn't sure.
This is it. This is the main thing. Now I may not have all of the information, but I think I heard this. It came up and it ran amongst Unity Party players, CDC players. CDC players were defending Weah, and Unity Party players were defending Bouakai. So it's like, oh, because you did it for me, you saying this, or we pack all your money, just like stupid thing that Samuel Doe did here. He said they were collecting all the money that the United States government used, the Liberian government, or collecting it to give back to the Liberian, the American government. That's the most stupid thing you ever want to do in life. Nobody should do anything for you for whatever the misunderstanding, and you say, oh, you did it for me, I'm giving this back, I'm giving that back. No, you're bringing curse on yourself. That is why when somebody do something for you, even if the person said X, Y, Z, or whatever the situation, you just leave it, because you might just need that person along the way again, or that person might just be of help to you somewhere, somehow, you can never tell. So I want to believe this is it, because I heard that, every morning that we are spent on Vice President Bouakai, our standard bearer, we will give it back. I want to believe this is what Bouakai has kept in his heart against we are all true.
At one point they started beefing, between the two of them, and I heard the former vice president say, "We're paying back all the money what he spent." Now I wasn't sure what all that money was about, or say something that may not be true. At one point they started beefing, between the two of them, and I heard the former vice president say, "We're paying back all the money what he spent." Now I wasn't sure what all that money was about, but at one point he got upset and said he would pay government back. I still didn't know what the details were, so I really can't speak to that.
That's it.
But I think there was something.
That's it. Nothing else. So let's go now. Let's just take a few calls on this, and then we are out. So the King's Catch giveaway, thank you. You continue to play. You are playing well. There's star 799, star 24 hatch, 4K. So you get your 4K, and then you can enjoy yourself. Today, Monday. Oh, yeah, today, Monday. Y'all get ready for Saturday. Good. Let's hear you quick.
Yes, let's hear you quick.
Let's hear you, Sabu Rasta. Yeah, my man, that thing, that way back thing. The woman.
It was sensitive to the issue. I'm disappointed in the president. Because then the president kept paying all the business of transparency and accountability. And the president told that they machine, I received that machine for a long time standing friend. So they
Yeah.
came against him telling us that this myself, very hard going to the 2 million, that is corruption.
Yeah.
That's serious corruption on the part of the president.
Is it a vice president must renegotiate? All right, Sabu Rasta.
People lie to us, man. Thank you for the time.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, let's hear you.
This is JT Tony calling on Kawa.
Let's hear you, Mr. Toe.
Yeah, when people can't take more from men of God and Abuaka, then they are the cause. Imagine whole deacon that then ordained in a church.
Right.
Like he don't want to be truthful.
The man was ordained. You went
But
to his ordination.
No, I wasn't there, but once he pronounced deacon, I mean you are ordained.
Okay. Well.
So he's a deacon. He's also led by example.
Okay.
These are those that making churches need to support all the leaders of churches for their need to support.
All right. Thank you. Hello.
Yes. Mr. Andrew, good evening.
Yes. Good.
Yeah, this is David King, and I do join you from the Warafia West.
Which country are you from?
I'm from Bon Country, my brother.
Yeah. Okay. I think you people will have between 10 to 15 yellow machines.
Yeah.
You ready for it? For them?
Yeah, but we got the means of maintaining, not just to have it, but the maintenance aspect of it.
Yeah, my man, forget about all that one. Forget about all that one, my man. That 285 machine, my man. That machine country.
In the country, can we maintain 15 yellow machine in Bon Country? It's not possible. What I want to state here on the record is that we heard the president telling us that the yellow machine was given to him by an old-time friend who believed in the arrest of general on a gentleman agreement. So now, for him to send the vice president to go renegotiate something that was given to him on a gentleman agreement, and they are about to say $22 million. Now, with the acquiescence of the legislature from Echo Bank, I think I see serious corruption.
Okay.
And the president should do the needful not to violate part of the laws of this country.
They were embarrassed. They were embarrassed. Yeah. If what Front Page Africa is reporting, it's true they were embarrassed.
I think that's why he's leading to. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, you are on.
Thank you, Sam Andrew. My name is Mohammed today. I'm calling from a resident here in District 17, Banjo, to be specific. Thank you. Are you getting me?
How many pieces you think your county Maserati will have from the 285 pieces of machines?
You see, for me, I will not. They say they are going to share it. I don't know how many things, but for me, I'm from Grand Cayman County.
But my man, you get farm in Maserati, yeah.
Farm?
Yeah, because it's mainly for agriculture now.
No, but then if they bring it for only agriculture, then I think it will benefit the majority of the people.
But the 285 pieces of machine that transporting,
rules, then you can say yes. Because I'm from Great Cayman County.
Oh, but the two, my man, listen, let me tell you, the 285 pieces of machines are on nothing but agriculture. That was the emphasis, or one of the pillars of the arrest agenda. Bwaga lay emphasis on agriculture rules. The 285 pieces mainly for agriculture. You listen to all of the lawmakers, or majority, and they are excited going for those machines because they say it will boost agriculture production in the counties.
Yeah, I listen to them saying that. But the president ever said on the yellow machine, when the yellow machine basically came up for the president said, we are going to build roads. We use those machines to build roads. And in one of his conversations you're having with the minister, with the public works minister, he said, we'll bring the machine. Let's see what are the LRA, but Liberia Revenue Authority will not able to generate money for us to pay for those machines. He said
He said it.
I saw it on social media. I watched it clear.
No, he said it. That's true. He said it. Yeah.
So
okay.
Now, let's go straight to the issue on the discussion I have to do with our former vice president. You see, for me, maybe President Bwaka is not in the know of what is happening to our former vice president. Maybe I'm just saying something. I'm not emphatically clear, but I'm just saying maybe.
But you say Bwaka not in the know.
Yeah, President Walker. President
How will
Walker
you say the man
got
in the
all
know?
what he was supposed to get
Chief,
when he was serving as former vice president.
the man in
He
the
received
know.
2
The woman
cars.
said she
He
wrote.
received
She.
2 cars
Hey,
right
wait,
after
my
the
man.
election,
Wait,
after inauguration. He received
wait,
2
my
cars.
man.
He received security. Then why is it that this president?
Hello. The woman said she wrote the man personally. All the people that you say Bwagana in the know. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew. That's the same way I'm phoning you from Logan Town. Sometimes we tend to wonder what country or the type of supporters that the Unity Party has. But what I would tell the former vice president, the woman said she wrote the president. Then somebody thought to ask her.
Yeah, my man, that's the man's own. State yours. That's the man's own. State yours.
Hello?
Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah, you made.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. All of you, you did. Well, Matthew Cholo Place said, if Echo Bank pays that money, they are on their own. Kudel Williams said, those machines are not going anywhere because it is or they are gift machine that have been given to our president. No paying for them. This is the reason. It is not good to lie about things. Yeah. Who else? All right. Oh, Josephus Manning, you are on. Thank you so much for coming on. Yes. All right. So that's it. That's all the time we've got to be on the show. We're back tomorrow, if God permits. Don't forget now, CDC Hour is on this evening, today, and it will run throughout the week. 6:50. Right after the news at 6:45 is CDC Hour from 6:50 to 7:50. And then 10 minutes breather at 8, face the issues with A.B. Weah. So you don't want to miss out, just take a break. Just at 6:50, you come back on and CDC Hour is on. So thank you ever so much. That's all the time we've got. The news is on at 6 in just under 30 minutes. And then CDC Hour, and then 8 o'clock is Face the Issues with A.B. Weah. I'm Sam Andrews. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. Shalom.
I'm feeling the vibes with originalhits.com.